All right, mate. Let's try this. My headset is not really working, so I hope you can hear me. In my ear, all I can hear is battery low, battery low, battery low. It just keeps saying it, so it's very distracting. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a long time. I've been saying ICP is a good buy to accumulate. I mean, I like it. It started to move recently. I made a lot of posts about it when it was down here, and now it's moving. It's up 8% today. For a long-term hold, I like it. I do like it. Could it go lower? It could. You know, I do own a little bit of it, but if it does, you can see all my alarms down here. If it does drop down here, I will add more. And if it does drop, I don't mean down to zero, but if it does drop down to, like you can see down here, I've got to load the boat. So I have some here, and if it drops down to here, I will buy more, and if it drops down to here, I will add. So personally, I think it's a decent coin to be accumulating. Um, you can this I like this here on ZIL as well. I think this is building a bullish base. People might look at this and say it's a bearish base, but I personally think it's a bullish base that wants to break out of this and then run and test the highs. Now, is it going to run today? Probably not. But does it look good for accumulation? Yes, it does to me. So I like ZIL. You know, this is a fairly bullish pattern overall. You could say it's a giant triangle in a way. Bitcoin had one of these as well, and we all know what happened to Bitcoin. It's not fully developed yet. I mean, could you draw it there? You can draw it there, yeah. But I would say this pattern is going to evolve, um, and there'll be a move up, kind of to here or whatever, and then we'll get the real move, something like that. Of course, this is saying, the way I've drew it is saying that it's not going to run big until a new year, but there definitely can be some upside long before that. The move from here to, I'm only rough eye drawing this, 66%, but that's just what I think is going to happen over a period of time. As far as Mir goes, I just posted actually. I think just before you posted. I'm not sure who posted first, but on different channels. I didn't see you posted, and I was because I want to buy Mir, EPS, Auto, ICP. I want to kind of start building positions of these, and then if they do drop, I would add in that drop. So what I said was you could buy but a stop below this 2 week low if you're more of a trader, and it's about 7 or 8% loss at this point to the 2 week low, which is not bad for a spot position. Um, the the weekly is still red, so we're getting that dip down. If this week was to flip up and flip green, you have bought down here on a decent place, and then the 2 week would actually be a bigger, beefier candle. Closing back up here. So it's definitely interesting. Now, is it 100% bottomed? Well, you never know for sure, but I do know that it's down. Let's just look at this. Actually, it's down 80. Sorry, these. What also actually look at this. I love this test pump. See this test pump here. Price is going to come back and test this test pump. There's a lot of liquidity into this spike, so I really like this. This to me, at some point we'll want to come back up and fill here at least, and very very roughly to the eye there. You're talking 100%. That's 100% bounce just to fill that. But if we get up there, we will then be above all moving averages, and the possibility of it actually, going way higher is on the cards then as well, because we will be above all moving averages, assuming we will be in a bullish market if prices got up there. So there's nothing to say that this can't go higher then. What we could do, maybe we want to kind of spike up into here and pull back, and then we would be working with some sort of pattern like this, as you can see, something like that. We would have formed a giant base then, and then you can start taking targets of, something like this or whatever to move us back up into that sort of area, and then that's a 200% bounce or whatever then, 230% bounce. So I like Mir as well for accumulation. If we're wrong about it, you are you are accumulating, and this is the good way to be accumulating coins, but you just need patience. It's a 79% drop. In theory, you want to be accumulating on a dip, instead of accumulating in a bull market. If you accumulate in a bull market, it can, you can have a very high average price. Did we have another? Like, obviously, I mean, it's common sense. If you bought here and then bought on this block and then bought on this block, your average is here. Your long-term average is not very good. But if you had accumulated on the drop, and this is, as you can see right here, this drop is a 90, ZIL drop 90%, right? And then you can see what it did later. It absolutely skyrocketed. So what's the smart thing to do? Well, the smart thing to do is, accumulate here, and you get another drop, accumulate here, and then accumulate on the stop hunt. And it'll give you an average price of down here. So when the bull market does come, of course you're going to need patience on this, but when the bull market does come, that's how you make your life changing money. There's a ZIL is 5,000%. So that's how you make your life changing money. And ZIL, it doesn't look like a 90% drop, but that's what it is. Almost just like this. An ICP, Auto, Mir, EPS, all of it 90 something percent drops, or close to it. This is at 80% drop. So, I'm a believer in accumulating these large dips. If it does keep going lower, to be accumulating down here on 80, 90, whatever, 94% drops. In theory, then if you have patience, it should come back. Look at ZIL here. Yes, this is a weekly chart, but let's go to the daily chart and just see exactly how it played out. Well, you can see we actually had a pretty big base. Let's just delete all that stuff. Well, that was a 40%. So, 70%, 80%. Okay. So essentially ZIL, or sorry, Mir could be somewhere about here, right? 82%. This was an 80% drop. And if you were accumulating, for example, right here, that's kind of where you're accumulating right now. And if it does drop more, you can add into that drop, right? You can add there. And then if you get another drop down when it's down 90 something percent, what if you add down there? That could essentially be where you're adding and when you're buying. Of course, nothing works out the same way. And this obviously has a red 200 moving average, but this is still down 80%. So I'm a believer that if you have patience, adding and continuing to add on these drops down here on these new coins, Mir, ICP, EPS, and all the ones I mentioned, Auto, in theory, they should be good. The reality of the thing is that most people will not buy these, and then they'll start buying here, and then they'll start buying here, and they'll start. But the real money is already lost. So it's really up to you. Do you have the patience to buy these, accumulate this as it goes down, and not stress out? This could drop 70%. Worst case scenario, this could probably drop another 70% from here. What if this goes down to under $1, down to 50 cents? Can you stomach that? Can you buy here, and buy here to have a very good average down here, before that next bull market comes in? That's what you need to ask yourself. Do you have the patience? There's also the added worry, what if the stock market rolls over and causes bigger crashes? But history, according to Binance, has showed us to be, if you accumulated coins that were down 90%, USD coins that were down 90%, then over time it was very good.